What is your favorite country flag? Ooh, what subject are you worst at? If you had to rename a country, which one would it be and why? Are you single?
All right, so first question.
Do you have any tips on how to maintain a good memory? I found that repeated exposure helps. You want to learn something, you take a look at it, and you keep kind of reviewing it, looking at it over and over, ingrain it into your memory. How did you develop so much stuff for geography and how it all started? I think it would honestly go back to when I was about 5 years old. I got a sticker book with flags of all the countries and I labeled them. I was able to memorize a lot of them from there.
Philippines, Jamaica, Texas,
Texas isn't a country.
Swaziland, that's a state.
After some time, I kind of lost interest, but sometime in my later teenage years, it re-sparked. What's your method for learning all these topics? Do you approach learning with genuine curiosity and interest, or is it more about memorizing, pushing through when it comes to general knowledge? I feel like it's kind of like a mix of the two. Like if it's something that I'm really passionate about, like yeah, it would be with genuine curiosity and interest. But if it's like something that like I'm not as interested, but it's like maybe like a subject that I like kind of need to learn, then it will be more about like memorizing and pushing myself a bit more. What is the most obscure geography fact you know? Okay, I'm gonna have to think about this one. Dang, it's hard. Trying to think of something that like people will be like, wow. One I can think of is Kiribati is the only country in the world to cross through the equator and the 180th meridian. It crosses through north, south, east, and west quadrants of the globe. Another thing I can think of is the old name for Vanuatu. The previous name that they used was New Hebrides. Oh yeah, it has it on here, New Hebrides Islands.
Because that one's from 2001, that globe.
How many countries have you been to and what are ones you wish to visit? Obviously, I've born and raised in the US, but I've been to Canada, Peru, been to Peru several times. Have family that I visited in France and Spain. In the Caribbean, went to the Caribbean Netherlands island of Curacao. And then where I'd like to visit, I mean, I'd like to at least touch down on every continent. Not just like the common tourist destinations either. Like a lot of people, when they go to Europe, they like to go to like France, Germany, Spain, Italy. As much as I'd like to maybe visit those, I want to also visit some of the lesser traveled places, like maybe Estonia, or maybe visit the beaches of Croatia or Portugal. Obviously those aren't that obscure, but probably in comparison to some of the popular destinations. And then as far as like in Africa, I'd maybe visit places like Senegal, Tanzania, or see like the pyramids in Egypt. For North America, maybe like some of the small nations like Barbados or Grenada. Another area I've wanted to visit for a while is the South Pacific, so Fiji or French Polynesia as well. Have you always been smart, or what did you do to get this smart? I guess it's always been like this. I don't know how to really answer that. Isaac, what is your background? Like, where's your family from? I'm a big fan from Fiji. Please guess my flag. Fiji. So my background, on my dad's side, I'm Peruvian. He was born there and came to the US in his early adulthood years. My mom was born and raised in New Hampshire. She was brought into a foster family that were affiliated with the Church of Latter-day Saints of Jesus Christ, aka Mormons. My parents met out in Utah. I was born in Massachusetts. I spent some of my earliest years in Massachusetts, and then we moved to New Hampshire where I was for a while. And for the past 15 years, as of today, I've been in Florida. How did you meet Brady and when did you first appear on the channel? So I think the first time I met him, I found him filming on campus because I had seen his videos. I'd wanted to maybe participate. Thought maybe like if I could get like 1 or 2 videos in, that would be cool. So I think the first time I did a video, I want to say it was May of 2023. And then several months later, I had come back. The semester had started, the fall semester had just started, and I saw him filming again. I thought maybe, yeah, let me see if I can get another one in, because the first one I did wasn't posted and it probably got lost in cyberspace or wherever. But August 2023 is when I made my official debut on the channel. What is your favorite country flag? Ooh, this one I'd like to share with y'all. So I don't know if I have one personal favorite. I have 3 that I like to say are my favorites, and those are Angola, Mozambique, and Barbados. It might just be a coincidence that they all have weapons on them. I honestly like combination of like the color scheme and the layout. I think the red and black background on Angola with the machete and the cog looks really cool. For Mozambique, the red triangle with the AK and the book I think I like the way like it kind of exemplifies like power and education, I guess. Plus like the black, yellow, green, like the choice of colors there I think are really cool. And then Barbados, like the dark blue with like the trident, I think looks awesome. I'm currently memorizing all flags and know most of them. How do you recommend me to memorize the flags of territories and states? Once you're delving into those more obscure ones, I'd say maybe like kind of look for a symbol, something that'll help it stand out to you. If you're looking at US state flags, obviously like a lot of them will say the name. Some other flags, I feel like they'll have like a distinct symbol or maybe like a pattern or color. If you can associate that with like a particular flag, then that'll probably help you memorize. What is your dream job or the job you are pursuing aside from being the GOAT geography trivia master? When it comes to like dream job, I'm still kind of like figuring it out. Like honestly, I don't really know like what exactly I'd want. I'm still figuring that out, I guess. Is Isaac as knowledgeable about other topics such as history, science, pop culture, etc.? Could he compete on Jeopardy? I like to think I know a decent bit about history and pop culture. When it comes to science, there are different aspects that I'm definitely lacking in. As far as Jeopardy, if it were exclusively like geography and stuff, I feel like I could get a pretty good run, because there's also stuff they'll talk about like, oh, Broadway, literature. I definitely like would not do well in that. I feel like if I were to compete in Jeopardy, I'd have to be more well-rounded. Aside from studying geography, what else are your hobbies and skills? Are you into cooking? What kind of profession you want to pursue? Pretty big into learning like playing music, learning music theory. I do play guitar and bass, and I do know a little bit about playing piano. Am I into cooking? I'm not very good when it comes to cooking. There's one dish that I really know how to make. It's pasta with bolognese sauce, and that's pretty much the only thing I ever learned, but it's really good and I never get tired of it.
What's your favorite cuisine?
I'm a big sucker for Indian food. Butter chicken, garlic naan, and mango lassi will change your life. What subject are you worst at? Probably something like chemistry or literature, honestly. What are your thoughts on your fan base and how people look up to you? Well, I want to say first that I'm flattered that you guys, so many people have supported me and really like the content that I've been in. I appreciate you guys. But honestly, for me, it's still kind of weird because, like, in my mind, I'm still just another person just figuring life out. It's kind of a surprise. A pleasant surprise, I'll say, but definitely not something that I'm used to.
Do you ever get recognized?
Handful of times I have been recognized in public. When I worked at the charter school last year, I was at Grad Adventure chaperoning one of the kids at another school. Got a picture with me and recognized me. Would you work as a geography teacher? So obviously this is my passion. This is definitely something that I could maybe work on, but as of right now, teacher salaries aren't the greatest, and when it comes to teaching itself, I feel like I don't really know how to particularly do that, like to actually teach, because it's not just explaining things, there's more to it, I feel. What are your thoughts on geography education in the US? There's a lot of things we could say about education in the United States. There are definitely some subjects where could use some work. I think geography might be one of those things. As far as US education goes, it tends to, from what I recall, from what I've experienced, it tends to be a lot of focus on like the core subjects like math and science, and it's like learning the basics of those subjects particularly, as well as history, mostly US history. Geography in particular, I think, is something that probably could use a bit more emphasis in the classroom. If you had to rename a country, which one would it be and why? Oh man, this is an interesting one. I'm gonna use the globe as a reference. Also gotta be careful what I say because I don't wanna make anyone angry. Honestly, I feel like any name that's kind of like still associated with being a colonial possession, probably. Maybe update a name. Like, the name Côte d'Ivoire is still like this Ivory Coast. I think that's like, it reminds me of when Ghana was called Gold Coast. By choosing to like associate it with a commodity seems kind of outdated, but then again, it's like, if the name works, it works. But then also maybe a name like Marshall Islands, maybe they like come up with a more specific name, because like Marshall's like an English thing. Maybe come up with a name that's more like associated with the native language. Are you single? Yeah.